Sweden is known to have a large racing scene, but with its Scandinavian neighbours, it's also known as a region where harness racing and trotting has a massive following. However, flat racing has a long-standing tradition here as well. Sweden has 3 permanent racing tracks in its 3 largest cities: Bro Park outside of Stockholm, Jägersro Galopp in Malmö, and Gothenburg Galopp in Gothenburg. Sweden continues racing in the winter, and March is actually the only month of the year where there are no races at all.
Sweden is a part of the European racing community. We can compare our best horses with horses from abroad. We are also a member of the Patent Committee. That means that we can measure our races with internationally made races.
Bro Park in Stockholm has its Super Sunday in June, and the well-known Group 3 showpiece Stockholm Cup International takes place in September. Jägersro has its first big meeting in May, the listed Prams Memorial Day, and the Swedish Derby Day in July also tends to attract international competitors. The Swedish Derby, run over 12 furlongs on Jägersro's dirt track, and is actually open for 3-year-old thoroughbreds, bred and trained in any racing jurisdiction, provided they're entered for the race, in time of course. The Swedish racing tracks offer a variety of surfaces. Bro Park has a big turf track, but also a dirt track. The surface at Jägersro is a fast-run dirt track that suits horses that tend to do well on all-weather tracks. Sweden has jump racing as well, and opportunities for Arabian thoroughbreds. The Swedish Grand National has been on show since 1971 at its own special track, Strömsholm, which is roughly an hour and a half by car from Stockholm. And the Arabians now have a leading part in the big PR day for racing in Stockholm, the National Day Galopp at Gärdet, inside the city itself on June 6th. There are some things that are unique to Swedish and Scandinavian racing. For example, the riding weights are quite generous. A jockey riding 56 or 57 kilos at his or her lowest riding weight can make a living here in Sweden. Swedish champion jockey Per-Anders Groberg, a Shergar Cup winning rider, can only see the positives.
One thing that I like about Scandinavian racing is the prize money, of course, in our big races. I mean, if you look at the Group 3 races we have, the prize money in them races is like a Group 2 race in England or Germany or even France sometimes. So of course that's very positive for us jockeys, but mostly for our owners. Another thing that I also like is the jockey colony is more or less 50-50 girls and guys, mostly because Scandinavian guys aren't my size normally, so that leaves the door open for a lot of girls to come in instead. It's always about 3 or 4 of them that do very good out there as well.
Riders like Ulrika Holmqvist, Fabienne de Geer, Malin Holmberg, Josefin Landgren and more regularly win on the Swedish tracks. The use of the whip is more restricted in Sweden. In fact, with the 2-year-olds, it's not even allowed at all. Sweden may not be the biggest racing nation in the world, but we have a great racing culture. Our horses win races on the continent and at big racing venues like Dubai as well. If you look at any one of our race cars, you'll find many popular stallions from the likes of Ireland, England, France and Germany, but we also have excellent local breeders that are focusing specifically on bloodlines for Scandinavia. Now, you're welcome to come at any time and take us on, but if you don't think you can, well, please do come and join us in the terraces. You're more than welcome.